Alright, you guys, we're back prototyping on local because I wanted to sort out some stuff with server side, and there's a whole bunch of stuff to go through, so I didn't want to do all this in production. So as you'll see, we have some APIs going from when we move the text boxes. We have an API going after you finish typing, which is a little bit of a tricky workaround, but I've done that, which I'll go into. We can add in more text boxes. This is all going through APIs. So everything is getting saved to our server with unique ID sessions. So at the moment I'm just passing through our username as the unique username for our sticky note sessions that we're pulling down from our server to get our sticky notes. So if we check out our server side, we've got our user ID here, we've got our object IDs as well, so that's how we're able to pull down all the sticky notes that are under my username, basically, because we're passing through my username to find them out of our database. Right, and then we're saving the XY chords and then the content of each sticky note. And that's how we can come back here, refresh the page, and boom, we're happy. And we also have our delete API working as well. Pretty sure if we refresh this, that should have got rid of those. Wait, let the load. We'll come back. Let's. Here we are. Yep. So they've been deleted out. Happy days. Right. So what did we do? Tell me the goods. All right. So basically, if we jump into our code, we'll do server side first. I mocked up a prototype Express server with using Mongo again. So I created a Mongo schema called sticky notes. We're slapping through the user ID or username, text, XY chords, and the timestamp of when each one was created, which allow us to do things in the future if we like. If we jump back into our server code, I had to just set up some core stuff here quickly to allow it to work. We're doing getting our sticky notes. We're doing a find against the username or user ID that we're passing through in our URLs. We're doing a save sticky, so we can save in new sticky notes. We're going to able to create things on the fly if it doesn't exist. We're able to update sticky notes, so we're using the find by ID and update via the note ID, which is created by MongoDB, which is that unique object ID that it has I showed you earlier. And then we're able to do the delete via note ID here as well. So we have what we got: get, post, put, delete, the generic REST APIs from our server side. You probably would put these into their own API folder, not to dump it all into the server folder like this, but it's fine for now, and use a router, but I'm lazy and don't feel like doing that, and I don't care. Alright, so jumping into sticky notes in our prototype, we have jumped on our use effect for loading in all of our notes. We're then creating notes via our endpoint, passing through the user ID as well here. We're updating our use state for our notes. And where then we have an update function that we can call on, and then that goes through to our server end API, and a delete note function we can call on as well. We also implemented a delay, or a debounce they call it. It's a delay. I've set it to 1000, just so then you're not getting flooded with API calls on the change event handler here, because when React's on a tick rate and it's checking every time a change happens, so every time you press a keystroke it will sending an API call. So I've actually set it through a delay, so when we're instantly setting it back through memory with set notes, and then we're debouncing it through our debounce core set to 1,000, and then we have our delay file here module that we're calling on, and then that just helps us not DDoS our own server with infinite API calls as we're typing into our text, into our notes. So that was a quick little workaround. I've also wrapped it again into a nice wrapper to give us that nice look of the delete button inside of the actual text area. I hate having the additional outer headers and stuff like that when you see notes and stuff like that. So that's kind of what's happening. Back from the original mock-up, we're still using draggables, we're still using mapping, we're still mapping across everything. We're just now pushing everything through APIs rather than doing it in local memory. So that way, when you save it and go away, it's still there. And when you close and come back or log back in next time, it'll still be there for us. The comments on delays, I would never use a delay hook in other programming paradigms. So like for argument's sake, you're doing an application or something like that. No way would I ever allow using a delay, but given the circumstances of React and how it works, we don't really have a choice. So yeah, that's the workaround we've used for this. Next step will be to put this into production, and I'm going to have fun fighting with cores and my authent server, I guarantee it. I'm going to have to fluff out all these fetch requests with proper credentials include, what their methods are, what their headers are, and we'll see how much it breaks. That'll be fun.